Okay, hey guys, it's Coach Ro and Ja here. Now we're going to be looking at our overhead positions. Okay, so our press, our push jerk, and our split jerk. Again, this can all be done with the PVC pipe and dowel. What you're really focusing on here is your position, okay? Focusing on where you're feeling the movement. So what we're going to start with is our strict press. So our strict press, again, guys, you grip on the bar. You want it to be slightly wider than your clean grip, I would recommend, just to show you. So if Ja's position is really narrow, so if you come right into your thigh and you bring it up to your starting position. Now, Ja, if she's pressing that overhead now, look how long she has to go. She's go all the way up there, so much longer to go. And look how the space between her head and the bar. Whereas if she brings it back down again and widens her grip, she goes from here and presses, way shorter distance to go. That gap has significantly narrowed. You might look at that now and go, that's not massive difference. It becomes a bigger difference as that weight gets heavier and you're much more control. Now, if you don't have the mobility, recommend that you look back at our mobility videos and you spend at least 4 to 6 weeks going through some of those movements. It does take around 6 weeks to notice a difference and a change, but if you find that that's a bit tight, we've plenty of videos there to work on opening up your shoulders. Anyway, so what we're going to start doing is your push press. So your grip. And everything else you want it tight. So you want to make sure your glutes are squeezed, your quads are set, your core is tight, okay? Now from this position, Ja's that bar on a really nice shelf on her shoulders, okay? And she's created that by getting the elbows in front of the bar. Now you don't want them in a front squat position, so right up there, okay? But you do want them ahead of the bar. You want them down and out. Now I'm going to explain this to you as best I can, okay? So if Ja turns to the front there, you can see if she's in a front squat, she's up. If she's getting ready for press, she's down and out. So in a press position, you're probably better off here. So your arms are almost vertical under the bar, but just slightly in front of them. That's your best position for your strict press. So what that's allowed, everything's going to happen is the bar is going to go straight up. So from here, Ja needs to tuck her chin out of the way and she presses that bar straight up. So you can see why that's a better position than your front squat would be, because your elbows are already in a position where they're getting ready to press the weight overhead. So she tucks back her chin slightly and then presses the bar up. And that finishes, just hold it there. Her bar now has finished just behind her ears. Okay, so the center of gravity travels all the way down to her elbows, shoulders, hips, and ankles. So you can see that nice linear there. So that's where the weight is, and that's where center of gravity is. So that's your strict press. With your push press, it's going to be something very similar again in terms of your starting position. What you're going to do here is you're going to dip, a nice smooth dip. Knees are out over the toes, everything's engaged. Then you're going to drive the bar up and then timing. The extension and the heels back down to the ground at the same time. So go from the side. So we're going to just go normal pace. So dip and go. So yeah, make sure those heels come up and then back down again. So dip and go. Good, there you go. So when you're doing your dip, it's really important that your heels stay on the ground for as long as you can. Everything is vertical, okay? If you don't have it, what's going to happen? There'll be disconnect between the bar and the shoulders. The bar will come off the shoulders too early and you lose all the power, okay? So it's a smooth dip, heels on the ground as long as you can, extending, driving the bar up nice and powerful. The heels will come away from the ground, but they reconnect as you punch the bar up. So 3 in a row. Good. And really, just almost exaggerate that extension and yes, there you go. Again, one more. Good, nice. That's your push press. It's powerful, okay? Now, if we want to add more weight onto that, we want to look at our push jerk. So our push jerk is a dip, drive, and a re-dip again, okay? So your feet start in your starting position, okay? Again, your shoulders, if you turn around to the side, your elbows probably come a bit exactly where Jazz is now. So her press was a bit further down, her elbows. Now her jerk is slightly forward again. Yeah, there, okay? Now from here, we're going to dip, drive the bar up, and then dip to receive again. Nice, good. Okay, turn around to the front. So you'll find, now she didn't do it there because it's a lightweight, but you will find your feet will reposition into your squat stance. So that's where they'll usually finish, okay? So you dip, drive, and dip. Awesome. That's exactly where you're going to finish. And you reset, and you go again. Now just make sure, again, heels on the ground as long as you can. Good. Really good. Speed and power. Go again. Good. And turn to the side. 3 more from the side. Good. Now you'll notice Jad does not cheat and she does not extend. So she still extends. She dips, drives the body up, extends, and then receives in that semi-squat position. Okay, good. Can you show me one, Jad, just from the side where you don't get your hips back and your head through and you shoot your knees forward instead? Just try it for me. So basically, you'll dip normally, and then you'll put it up overhead, but you'll finish in that position as well. Yes, exactly. So see there, Jan never got her hips backwards. Her knees shot over her toes rather than actually getting her hips back. So show me a good one.
Oh, good.
Yeah. There. If you just do one more and hold it for me. Hold. Okay, so see, yes, obviously Jaz's knees are over her toes, but her hips have gone backwards as well because she's good mobility through her shoulders. If she didn't have that, if you actually just stay in that position, yep. And no, go the other way, shove the knees right forward and you're almost vertical. So yeah, that's a really awkward position to be in. All right, and rest. So I really want you to focus on that receiving position. Again, send videos if you want, but just make sure that you're looking back and finding that right position. And now we're going to go into our push jerk. So a really good thing to do here if you're on... What did I say? Push jerk? Sorry, split jerk. A really good one to start off with. Even if you've done this a long time, just get rid of the PVC pipe altogether. Yep. Even if you've done this so many times before, put your hands on your hips and just drop into your split jerk position. Now, when you're in this position, you want to take note. You want to see how far apart. So if I was asked you to do that again. Yep. Now, what I want you to do is bring that foot, no, in line with this foot, just straight up. Yeah, now that should be just into squat stance. Okay, so that's ideally...
Oh my God, it
is! So that's what we're looking for. That's how, when she started her position, she'll start off your split jerk, your feet.
Oh, can I change them?
Yeah, now you can. So she's starting her starting position. When she does her jerk, they go outwards and then they go into her split squat position. So it means you're a broader base, you're stronger there, way stronger than if you go narrow for me. If you can. Do a bad one. You see, she's so, straight away I can see. If I was going to push her over, she's going to fall. She's gone. So that's the first thing you can do. You can just do she's mobile. So you want to play around with this for quite a bit. Okay, so turn to the side and just drop. Now, another thing to look for, Jacinta's front shin. She could actually do with moving her foot out slightly. Yeah, now, she's a nice vertical shin. Her thigh is almost vertical, okay? You don't need to have an absolute vertical back thigh, but you do need to have a nice good bend through that back leg. Now, the weight in her foot. The weight in her foot is in the back ball of her foot and then also in the front of her foot, from the ball of the foot to the toe. There's not much weight in her heel. There shouldn't be. Okay, it should be all through the front part of the foot. So go again. And pause. So again, her front foot's gone a bit short, so she's gonna kill me. There you go. So do play around with this and fix your positions and go again. Take note of it, take time.
Is that better?
Yeah, way better. Actually, was that better? Okay, so now what you can do is grab your PVC pipe, and then when you start adding in overhead, this can get a bit funky. So what we're gonna do is put it on top of your head. So, yeah, there you go. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're just going to drop and punch. Awesome. So that focuses and reiterates you getting down under the bar. Drop, punch. Awesome. Turn to the side.
Sorry, it's my alarm.
That's fine. Don't worry. Turn around. Turn to the side.
Sorry, it's in my coat.
Okay, I'm going to turn off Jacinta's alarm as she's split jerking. And go again. Awesome. One more. Now what you're really focusing on here is dropping and punching under the bar. Awesome. Good. Really, really good. And turn around. So that's another thing that you can practice. And what I've found quite a lot, actually, I'm throwing this at Jacinta now because it just came into my head. When you are dipping in your jerk, so if you bring up the bar to your front squat, to your front rack, and turn to the side, what we're noticing a hell of a lot, if you just dip forward, your hips go back and you dip. No, so it's a bad way. So if you, yeah, exactly. Or shift the hips right back and your whole torso comes forward. Exactly. We see a lot of this happening with dipping. So a really, really good thing you can do is if you drag up against the chalkboard there, forget about the PVC pipe. Yeah. And all you can do is just practice just dipping from here. So you can't go anywhere. You have to, your body has to go down. So you have to come down, your knees have to come out over the toes. It's a really, really good method of practicing your dipping. And you can also do it the other way around if you really don't, like you want to get your head hit off the wall, but you just dip down. So that way, if you go forward at all, your head will hit that wall and you'll knock into it. And we don't want that to happen. So that's something you can also do, a really good technique for your dipping. So now we're gonna go through the bar in the front. Again, making sure, guys, elbows down and out, setting those lats. You're gonna dip, drive the bar up and drop under it. Awesome, good, and go from the side. Good. Now you'll see, Jazz gonna do this again. Watch her dip, it's nice and smooth, don't rush it. If you rush that dip, can you try and do one where you really rush it and you don't extend? Yeah, okay. She was really fast, but she didn't extend. So if she goes through to a bar and adds a bit of weight, it's not going to be a good story for her. If she calms it down, weight on the heels as long as you can and extend and drive the ground away. So that's what you'll always hear me saying, weight on heels. Good. That wasn't so good, but the other ones were, so that's okay. So another one you can do is behind the neck. And this can be a bit awkward, but it really focuses on emphasizing chest up. So you're going to dip and drive. Good. And again. Good. So really, really good positioning. It shows where the weight of the bar should be over the center of gravity. So guys, these are things that you can do and practice 10 reps at a time, rest and go again. And I guarantee you your positioning will get better. And when it comes to having a bar, a load on your back or on your front, you will be in a much better position. Again, send on any videos you want for us to review. And we're more than happy to answer any questions. Pick parts of this that you can help. And again, we'll write down in the comments what we're actually going through as well. All right, thanks guys.